Hello everyone. So I am back today with Daisy for another Quilters Vibe layout, and this month we have a very special guest. Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life is joining us. So be sure to head over to her channel and check out her take on our quilt inspiration this month. You saw the quilt before. It has these adorable like paper pieced foxes, and I love them. They're so cute. So I am using all patterns and papers and embellishments from Dear Lizzie Stargazer because I really wanted to pull in the blue and the orange from our quilt inspiration piece, and I had blue and orange in my photo, and so I decided that after going through a couple collections that one had the best kind of matches. So if my light seems a little off or a little wonky, right before I started filming this, I had a light bulb go out on me. So this video might be a little bit, the lighting might be a little off, and there's a little bit more glare, I think, than usual, but
yeah, it's because we changed.
Like my son was about to tell you, that will be fixed from now on. It only affected this video. The rest of my videos are fine because the lights have been changed, and actually the lights are like super bright now. Okay, so what I did was I just punched some squares to create my fox, and I have a piece of white cardstock, 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I just cut it in half, and then I punched squares in orange and white, and I am using a 1.5 inch square punch. So I'm going to take this punch, these squares, and I'm actually going to fold them so that each square creates 4 triangles, and that'll give me a small enough triangle that I can create a little fox embellishment for my traveler's notebook spread.
Mom, what is it?
So I have all of those squares cut into triangles now, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at the inspiration piece and I'm just looking at the areas that have the fox, and I'm just going to recreate one of those paper pieced fox on the quilt in paper. And what I decided to do was I decided to create the fox onto this white cardstock, and then I'm going to cut it out to create like one large embellishment, and that'll make it easier for me to kind of move it around the page or decide where I want it, as opposed to sticking it straight into the traveler's notebook. Plus it's going to overlap and go across across the whole spread, so it was just easier to do it this way and to kind of create my own little embellishment as one whole piece. And so now I am just finishing him up here, and then I'm going to fussy cut him all the way around and out, and that will give me that full embellishment. So I decided to stamp some eyes and nose for him with just this like little checklist kind of stamp. And it does work okay, but later on in this process I'm going to come across these really nice matte black enamel dots, and I'm going to decide to use those instead. But if you don't have black enamel dots and you want to try this, you can just go right ahead and do exactly what I did. You can either draw or stamp and give him some eyes and a nose. So the next thing I want to do is I've cut this floral paper down to be the background of my spread. I do have some ghosting and some ink that kind of went through on this in this notebook, so I want to definitely cover that up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this purple tape that I love, and you guys have seen me do this before when I have a double page spread and I know things are going to kind of flow or overlap or go across both sides of the spread. I like to use the purple tape to put the 2 smaller pieces of paper together, and then I can create the whole layout as one big 8x8 layout, and then I can come back in and I can come back in with other pieces and cut it in half later. So I am going to use this branding strip from it's the branding strip, I think it's from that blue floral paper, and I did cut it and set it aside, and I'm going to use it to ground my little fox. And I'm going to ink everything with Vintage Photo Distress ink, and I really like how this turned out. I think it turned out really cute. So this is for my Glimpses of Nature Traveler's Notebook, which is actually almost full. The insert I'm using is from Wild Whisper. It's one of their inserts actually from last fall from the Sweater Weather collection. And yeah, this notebook is almost totally full. I just have a couple more pages left in the back to do. And so I went through my fall photos from last fall and chose this one to scrapbook and to add to this traveler's notebook because there isn't a story. It's just a cool picture of me standing in front of some leaves. And so those are the kinds of photos that I definitely develop and want to keep, but don't necessarily want to scrapbook a full page about them. I just want to add little things. And I love to take pictures of flowers, and I love to take pictures of just, pretty stuff. So this is the second volume of this insert that has just, pretty photos in it that I took. So I cut the photo in half, which I hope did not make you cringe in in horror. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this photo out. I want to mat it on this blue paper. So what I'm going to do, and I think this turned out so cool, I'm going to put the bottom part of the photo, and then I'm going to take this piece that says wonderful that I fussy cut from one of the pattern papers, and then from Stargazer, and then I'm going to put the rest of my photo above. So it kind of stretches my photo out, and instead of being a square, now my photo is more of a rectangle, and it's going to fit really, really well all together on that one side of my spread. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer and trim it up. I'm sorry, I have a cold. I've had it for weeks. It keeps coming back, and this is the first. I took a break from voiceover and YouTube videos. I work way ahead usually, so I've been kind of like being able just to have videos go up, right? And so, but now we've got to the point where I'm out of banked videos, and so I have to do a voiceover with my icky cold. So I'm sorry. I've been fighting with this cold for weeks, you guys, like weeks. It doesn't want to go away. So anyway, hopefully soon, right? But so if I seem a little sniffly, that's why. It doesn't stop me from scrapbooking though, because there's nothing better than sitting down with a hot cup of tea and playing with pretty paper when you don't feel good. But you can't go to bed. So I have my photo now matted, and I have these two banners that I think are super cute. They have the same colors that I like and that I'm using on this spread. And I'm going to keep this whole spread super simple. I'm just going to put these banners up at the top to pull some of the color into that area of my spread. And this is pretty much going to be it. I think I grabbed some staples and add some little staple. And then I also, I think, come back in and put, well, yeah, I do. I put the black matte enamel dots. So now it's time to cut the paper. Everything is trimmed up. So I just need to get, I think I'm looking for the enamel dots now because I feel like we need something to kind of sprinkle about. Just need a sprinkle of something. So I choose these black matte enamel dots. These are actually from Click Kits, and they're really nice. They're in the shop. They had all different, someone had gotten, they put them in the shop like all these different colors, and they were super duper cute. And here's where I decide that I like the idea of putting the little tiny enamel dots onto the fox instead of having the ones that I drew. And so I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle these around, and then I'm going to flip my page over, and it's time to cut my spread in half. So remove the purple tape, and then I just follow that line to cut it in half. And I really like doing this when I have a spread that's going to have things that are going to spread across both pages, because it really does give it a very put together look. Last little bit is just to add some vintage photo distress ink, and then to adhere the pages into my book. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Be sure to head over to both Daisie and Christy's channel and see what they did with our quilting inspiration this month. See you again soon. Bye.